Good morning, YouTube. Daniel back here. Another video, another walk in the morning, about 6:30. Wake up every day at the same time, 4:40. And first off, thank God for the day. I appreciate what He's given me, and then reflect, have a conversation with Him, read the Bible, reflect on that some more, and then go for my walk. But walking is really where you get most of your ideas, where you create the vessel and connect to the fountain, which is what's going to bring you everything into your life, attract everything you will have now, have had in the past. And really the only thing that is left is for you to use those things, whether you see them or not, and give faith to the world or fear. And don't get me wrong, the devil can give you things as well. I've been in a place where I was living for ego, and the devil gave me experiences with women and, trips and drugs and women and parties and women, lost in lust. And the faster I got those things, and the faster the external world thought I was growing in that area, the emptier I felt inside, the more hollow I felt, the more I wanted to escape more and more in that. And it's a vicious cycle of you feeling worse internally but getting more externally, so you get lost in thinking it's more externally, it's going to make you feel better internally, and you're just in this hamster wheel, and you're getting anxious, you're worried, but stressed as well. And there's limits to how far you can go. Of course, the thing that's common amongst all of us is we're going to die one day, but people chasing this lust and this pleasure die faster than others, because it is like a drug addict chasing that hit of cocaine or morphine or heroin. The harder ones that give you the biggest hit, because the better you get at accumulating external things, the more you think that the bigger car or whatever, the bigger house or the hotter girl or multiple girls is going to get you what you're looking for. But that's the contract and the game the devil plays with you, because he realizes that all your power lies when you realize it's a spiritual journey you're on in a physical world, and not the other way around. You weren't put here as a physical being to have some spiritual experiences here and there. It's the other way around. And when you understand that, you can realize that there's a difference. And I want to talk about today is the difference between lust and passion. So it's a very fine line. Passion, is something that you can feel from another person, comes from within them. And you could say lust is almost the same thing, but the thing with lust is that it comes from a place that is not whole. Lust comes from a place of necessity, of needing something to happen, to work out, for you to be with this girl. The biggest one is lust for women. Oh, I need this girl, I need this girlfriend, I need sex now, and I need a blowjob, whatever it is that people or men think they need from a woman, or they need this attractive woman to give them something of status, or this ego and this feeling. That's lust. Passion is when you do something from within you, and you, in the habit of doing that, in the act of doing that, you get energy from that you can give to the world. So that's usually, when people say live for your passion, do something you're passionate about. If it's you riding a bike and you don't need the destination, you just ride the bike and you get passion from pedaling, or breathing, or how you breathe, or tracking what you're doing, then you get passion from that, energy from that, then that's passion. You don't need the destination. You don't need to you're not pedaling and fuck, I need to get here, and you're stressing out. You're building a state within yourself internally from whatever you're doing, that activity, and that is passion. But lust, like I said, is you're depending on something external to give you this feeling, as opposed to passion. It comes from within you, and passion comes from God. And passion usually won't be you getting lost in vices. So that's why there's a fine line and a big distinction between the both. But I once thought I was passionate about meeting women and going up to women and socializing and stuff like that. But I was actually in lust most of the time, because especially in the beginning, I needed something to work out with this specific person. I needed, I don't know, a phone number or a kiss or a makeout or whatever it was, something external to happen. So I was doing it for a result. I was not doing it for the simple act of socializing and meeting somebody. Eventually, when I got better, there were times where I felt passion for it, but that lust took over, and it became a competition for me, comparing. It became like a sport in that community, and that's when I began to lose myself, because I tried to make this ego, this image of I'm the best to do this, and people have to see, and people are going to see online. But I was doing it for ego, because I only taught one person this whole time. When I was on that journey, I could have taught many people. I had this whole community of people that were influencing, and you could say inspiring. I don't think it's inspiring, it was just inspiring to go towards the devil. But we were boasting and showing off in this group, and people were asking, people that I could have helped genuinely from the heart. But the ego does not connect with the heart. The ego removes you from heart, from operating in love, makes you operate in fear. And my ego told me, if I teach this guy, then he's gonna know, and I won't be able to get as many women. And that's ego, that's selfishness. When you're operating in love, everything's abundant. When you give out, you get back in multiples. And it's crazy how frequency works. And I'll make a whole different video about that, because you realize that frequency is something that's not thought about. Books, self-development books, tell you to think all the time and plan and organize in your head, and all this thinking or feeling. But frequency is not it's not something you think about or a feeling that you feel. It's something that comes from within, like passion. So you can compare frequency to passion, and lust to feelings. Because lust, you can create feelings in your head with lust. You can create feelings in your head by thinking, and lust is created in your head as well. It's not something that comes from within you. It's what the devil uses to trap you in this world that we see here, that you think is most real. What's actually what's most real is what you don't see, because the things that are going on or not going on because you're trapped in lust are what's going to bring you the things you're looking for. Meaning where your frequency is at, where your thoughts are at, because thinking and thoughts are different. Thoughts come from the fountain when you're connected. They come in and out, and you act on them or don't. But thinking is, you create a spider web and these stories and these emotions and this whole show in your head that your ego creates to get you away from the present. But what's going on internally is what's most real and will come out with lag. So how you're feeling, if you're grateful, the things internally that you can't think about to create. And when you realize the difference between lust and passion, you can start to attack it more and more and remove that from your life. I promise you, the more you remove lust from your life, which is something that controls you, but you don't see it because you're an ego, so you live for your ego. You think everything's about increasing your ego, so increasing your status as a man. I need money to look cooler to these people. I need a woman now to, show it to the world. Then you'll need the car, then you need the house. You're working for ego. Your frequency is simply non-existent because you're doing things selfishly. You're probably maybe in anger, which creates ego and keeps it in you. Angry towards someone that hurt you, or someone's going to see something. You have this vengeance on your mind. And when you start to forgive people, like I mentioned in another video, is when you can ascend past that and move into love, which love is not ego. And you begin to do things not expecting things in return. You do things out of passion because it comes from within you. You get energy from it, and no matter what happens externally, if you get something back or not, you're doing it from passion, so it doesn't matter. But you're doing something for lust, then you're doing something transactionally. You're doing something because I need this to happen, and you're desperate and you're needy, and people feel the energy. It's repulsive energy. It's very repulsive. But passionate is not, because you don't need the external to get you something back. It's going to be repaid for you simply by the act of doing it and also by God, because those that work with passion, God repays. And passion for something that is helping others, giving faith to others. You know, there's people that maybe are passionate about, I don't know, something fucked up you can say, but I don't think that's actually the case, but it's a different story entirely. I think it's also lust, but passion comes from the soul, spirits. So you can remove what I said before. Passion comes from God, and lust will come from the devil. So that's why people think they're passionate about something, but it's actually lust consuming them, and they keep doing it over and over, and they're like, oh, I have to keep doing this. But meanwhile, a passionate person does not need the external. So I'll keep repeating it over and over so you understand, but that is something if you could begin to distinguish. If you right now are in this place where you have this high level energy towards something and don't know what it is, and don't know if it's the devil controlling you with lust and making you need something, some result, which usually is for women. You know, you need sex, or you need something to happen with women, so you're in lust. But when you're passionate, you maybe enjoy bringing people together. Maybe you're a person that was put here to bring communities together or people together. So when you go out, you're like making groups of people, you're passionate about that. But you know, there's a lust part as well of the women, so you can get lost in that as well. So you can now see the distinction between both. That's something I want to speak about, because men can get very lost in that and not know the distinction, because society does not give you the distinction, and society not even, you know, mocks and tells people like, you know, people that follow their passion are stupid and it's about just making money. So people always look at the external, right? But if you want to live a life of purpose, of fulfillment, of joy, of peace, a life that you remember and also affects others, then a life of passion is what you seek, not a life of lust, because, you know, lust also transfers to money, not just women. So people that live for making money or put money as their God operate in lust. So they only work if the money comes in. But as soon as it stops or it slows down, they start to get needy and desperate and try to find different methods. So that is why working for your passion, working for what you're here to do, that you don't need money to do, is the most effective way to connect with God and be one of his soldiers. So that is what I'm doing now after many years of being in lust, and that transferring to different areas, but the number one being women. So help men get out of that lust they've created, or the world's created for them, or their community, or the group of boys they're with, whoever it is. Get them away from that so they can find the power they have within and start to live a life of purpose, of passion, of doing what they're here to do. So if you want to connect, you have my Instagram. If you like the video, stay till the end. Much love as well. Please comment if you understood the difference, where you're at in any area with either or. I'd love to hear and connect with you guys. And like I said, my Instagram's below. You can message me there. You'll see my lifestyle, habits, and the way I give faith and help others get out of, you know, the devils that they don't see. And if you like the videos, like and subscribe. More will be coming daily. The wisdom, reflections I get, and just overall lifestyle to show you guys how to live in order to live a life of fulfillment and not just lust and chasing something external you think you need. So hope you enjoyed filming this on a Thursday morning. So enjoy your Thursday, wherever part of the world you're watching this from. And in the meantime, as always, keep killing it.